Hey there, let's take a look at rules and how they interact with variables. In another video, the variable video, we created a couple custom variables, which are still in here. We got product and score. And score is the one we're going to be playing with today because we have an elaborate training scenario for people who have fallen in a giant pit and are met with maybe some things that are dangerous, maybe some things that aren't dangerous. So this is some AI slop generated Gaussian splat that I've got loaded in here. And I've set up some waypoints so the user starts at a decent camera angle where they can kind of see everything. And the gist of it is I want people to be able to click different things that they think are dangerous. And once the score hits 3, it's going to pop up a confirmation message that says you've done it. Move on to the next experience. So I've set up these 4 hotspots, actually. These are the danger ones. And for this one, I know it looks like acid, but we're going to pretend it's water, even though it probably should be acid. This one's going to be safe. And so these 3 hotspots are all identical except for the image. I saw this one and I had to put that in there. Okay, so we've got actions. And this hotspot is set to a label. And if you remember, a label type hotspot doesn't have like a primary click action. And so what we are doing is just using that as a trigger for other actions, which we're attaching to it. So we have this action, which sets the variable score +1, right? Increments it by 1. Now, I could have just left that on there. However, someone could just go 1, 2, 3, and click that 3 times, the score increments to 3, and our message pops up saying you've done it. That's not right. So what we want is we want that hotspot to disappear after someone's selected it as well. So what I've got is a hotspot visibility action, again on click, and I'm just hiding this hotspot, right? So just to try this out, all 3 of these have the same thing on them, by the way. And so what happens is if I can close this and get out of edit mode, I click this guy, I click this guy, and I click this guy, and they all disappear, and then I want my message to appear. Oh yeah, what happens if I click this one? Well, I get a message that says, hey, this is water, it's safe. Okay, so what I've done with this hotspot is I have rigged up an action that's just going to show a notification that just shows this here. Okay, so no score incrementing, no hiding, no anything like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and get into the Explorer and go into Overlay Node Actions. Why? Because what I've done is I have an overlay set up called the Danger Overlay. And in here, I have this message, right? So we're going to imagine this is a link to another URL that goes to the next challenge. And this all starts off hidden. Okay, so it's called the center panel wrapper, and we're going to remember that because what we're going to do is go back into the danger splat. And in overlay node actions, because I already have this overlay added, you just can't see it, right? Because everything's hidden. Center panel wrapper, I'm going to attach action to that. Guess what the action is going to be? It is going to be a overlay node visibility, which is going to allow us to take our center panel wrapper and show it. However, when do we want to show it? We want to show it on variable change. So there's a trigger in here. So what you can do is you can set up, I like to think of these as listeners, right? They're listening if a variable is changing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to listen to see if this variable changes, right? And then that's going to trigger things. So we're going to show this. However, if I do this now, I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with this, and I click this, you survived, continue to the next challenge. Why? Why did it do that? I'm going to reload this. Why did it do that? Because I didn't have anything on there. Whoops, I'm in the wrong area. That's where I want to go, in here. I didn't have anything in here that says, I only want this to happen when some certain rule or some criteria is met. Enter the rules. There's a rule button here. And next to it is a little blurb that tells you what it is. It lets you control behavior by checking variable values. A rule can check if, here we go. A rule can check if a score is above a threshold. It's exactly what we're doing here. If a rule is added, the associated behavior will only activate when all rules are satisfied. So you can add a rule, but you can also add another rule. You can add a group of rules, right? So if the product is this and this happens, or something is this or something else is this, you can get very, very complex rules in here if you so desire, which is great if you need it. It's there if you need it. If you don't, you can just keep things very simple like we're doing here. So what I can say is if score is, and then you get all these guys here. If I'm going to say if score is greater than or equal to 3, then what's going to happen is this acts like a gate. The way I think of it is in order to get through the gate, you've got to pass all this. So if we pass this gate, boom, then we go down here and it does the condition where it shows this, right? Okay, so let's see how this works in practice. Now, what I've also done is I've got a path in here that has a few waypoints, and I have set that as the starting path, which is what this green icon does. So if I go over here, open my preview window, we're falling in the pit. Oh, luckily we've landed on this platform. Great, thank goodness. Gosh, I need to identify what the dangerous things are in here. What about this? Nah, that's water, that's safe. Okay, maybe this snake is dangerous. Guess it was. Pit of spikes, probably dangerous. And the fire, yes, I have survived and I can continue to the next challenge. Okay, so that's it. What we've done, I'm going to close this. So that shows you how powerful rules can be. That was just a single rule that basically governed how our entire quiz functioned. Rules are available in actions and hotspots and throughout the platform, and they are just another way to add interactivity to anything you want. Thanks for watching.